His ex-wife sent me a text at 2 a.m. claiming I was trying to replace her as a mother. I kept quiet, and it almost cost my partner his kids. I was lying in the dark, my partner Adam, sound asleep beside me, staring at 3 long paragraphs of pure venom glowing on my phone screen. How dare you pick Sabrina up from soccer practice? How dare you help Milo with his math homework? You're just some woman who thinks she can waltz in and play mommy to my children. I had been with Adam for 2 years. My own kids were adults in their 20s, living their own lives. I had absolutely zero desire to replace anyone or start over. I just loved a man who happened to have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old who stayed with us every other week. The text ended with a severe threat. If you don't back off completely, they won't be coming over anymore. I'll tell the family court judge you're acting inappropriately with them. Tears of rage stung my eyes. I hadn't done anything inappropriate. I made them breakfast. I asked about their day. Normal human stuff. But I knew that word, inappropriate, could mean absolutely anything to a judge who didn't know me. I couldn't tell Adam. He was already drowning in stress over the custody arrangement. His ex had been incredibly difficult since their divorce 3 years ago. If I showed him this text, he'd explode and confront her. She would escalate, and the kids would be caught in the crossfire. So, I kept my mouth shut. The next week, she didn't show up for the custody exchange. Adam called her 12 times. When she finally answered, she coldly said, I don't think it's healthy for them to be around your girlfriend right now. I've decided they need space. Adam hung up and immediately called his lawyer. I sat on the couch, guilt eating me alive. 2 days later, she officially filed a motion to modify custody, claiming I was overly familiar with the children and actively attempting to usurp the mother's role. Adam's lawyer needed evidence to prove this was a baseless attack. That's when I finally had to show Adam the 2 a.m. text. He read it 3 times, his jaw clenching tighter each time. How long have you been dealing with this? He asked. I didn't want to stress you out, I whispered. This isn't your burden to handle alone, he said, frustrated but protective. The week before the court hearing, she sent another threat to Adam. If she shows up at the hearing, I'm requesting supervised visitation only. She was cornering us. Either I completely disappeared from their lives, or Adam lost unsupervised time with his own children. I told Adam I would stay home to keep the peace. He flat out refused. You're part of this family. You're coming. The courtroom was small. The judge was a woman in her 50s who looked utterly exhausted. Adam's ex testified first. She cried real tears, claiming Sabrina had accidentally called me mom once, and it had broken her heart. The judge looked over her glasses. Has there been any inappropriate behavior? Anything that puts the children at actual physical or emotional risk? It's emotionally inappropriate, his ex argued. They're bonding with her instead of me. That is not what I asked, the judge said sharply. Adam's lawyer then presented a massive stack of texts. Not just the one to me, but months of manipulative messages sent to Adam, demanding he stay permanently single or lose access to his kids. Then, Adam testified. He explained that I had my own grown children, that I strictly respected boundaries, and that I never tried to replace her. Finally, the judge asked to speak to both kids privately in her chambers. We waited for 45 agonizing minutes. My heart pounded against my ribs. When the judge returned, her expression was ice cold. I have reviewed the evidence and spoken with both children, she announced. There is absolutely no basis for modifying custody. The children report feeling safe, loved, and entirely happy in both homes. She looked directly at Adam's ex. Your concern over your children's relationship with their father's partner clearly stems from a personal grievance, not the children's well-being. Using family court as a weapon to control your former spouse's personal life is unacceptable. If you file another baseless motion like this, I will impose heavy financial sanctions. Do you understand? Adam's ex stared at the floor. Yes, custody remains as is. The judge slammed her gavel. This hearing is concluded. Adam squeezed my hand so hard it hurt. That night, Sabrina and Milo came over for dinner. Everything felt lighter. They hugged me when they walked in. Totally normal, and I realized I had been holding my breath for weeks. The kids still visit every other week. Their mom is quiet at the exchanges now. I'm still just me, not their mother. Just someone who loves them.